Appreciate it. Who is Marquise to you?
She's a friend of mine. I am about to be evicted with my 2 kids, and he told me he would help me with my rent. And that basically I just have to go in, cash this check, and that would help me with my rent.
How long you know?
And then for a couple months.
Is your only job serving?
I'm not getting enough.
Oh, it's hitting her now. She's getting nervous now. She's tearing up already.
I'm working 2 days a week, not enough.
She's only working 2 days a week. If you're a server, you're not tied to one place. You can go work multiple places and get more hours, get more tips. Like, I don't understand. If you're only working 2 days a week, what are you doing here instead of going and looking for more work?
You knew this was a fraudulent check?
I just knew that they were writing me a check.
That you knew was fraudulent?
I don't know. I don't know where they got it.
You showed up here in scrubs with a stethoscope, and your only job as a server, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, she clearly knew what she was doing. I mean, she put on the scrubs, she put on the stethoscope. The check is in her name, says she was doing nursing work. Yeah, she knew what she was doing. I don't know if she knew the full details of the plan, but she knew what she was doing.
No, I just did what they told me to do.
Okay.
All I did was get in the car, and I was just expecting to.
He picked you up from work?
From my house.
What?
From my apartment.
He picked you up from your apartment?
Yes.
And y'all drove all the way in the land?
I just got in the
Well,
car,
I
did
will
what they
tell you
asked
that this
me
is
to
the
do.
3rd check that has been cashed against this account today.
In his account?
In this account, off of this account, that's why it triggered
So
the teller to.
He hit so many other...
So this is what I'm saying. Like, there's nothing new. They've already seen this happen before. Like, this exact situation has already happened previously at this location. So, yeah, I mean, they're well aware of what's going on. If you think that you have come up with this new plan that's so good because nobody's ever thought of it before, guarantee you somebody's thought of it before.
So he probably hit another
This was
TD.
the 3rd TD bank he hit today.
Third TD bank. All right.
It's not me. Am I gonna be arrested?
Most likely. You can't come in here and cash a fraudulent check.
I know, but it's not me.
And then you admitted to it.
It's not me, though. It's not me. Well, it's your name on the check, so it is you.
I mean, I'm just trying to tell the truth. That way I'm not getting in
Yeah, but
trouble.
honey, you walked in.
See, she's already trying to make a soft spot for herself. She's already said, "I'm trying to tell the truth, and I'm trying to be helpful, and so I don't get in trouble." Well, you already did it. Like, you already gave them the check and tried to get money. Like, that is fraud. So you've already done that. It doesn't really matter how honest you are after you've already committed fraud.
Here and told me that you did work as a nurse for these people. You know that this is a fraudulent check. There has been a ring of these fraudulent checks going around of these savings bonds.
Copy, thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Oh,
realize.
no, you good.
So, and we actually just got some the other day. So everyone knew the feel of the check, the writing on the check. So
You see that? The feel of the paper. They know, they've seen this so many times that the tellers know what the paper is supposed to feel like and what it shouldn't feel like. And they've seen this all before. I guarantee you, it's probably 1 or 2 people are running this whole thing, and they've got multiple people going to multiple banks, and they're just trying everything they can to get those checks cashed. And unfortunately, if you get caught up trying to cash one of those checks, they're not coming back for you. Like, they're going to leave you on the hook for the whole thing.
the teller told me right away,
Did you keep the beehive over here?
come look at these checks. That's when I called you.
Mm-hmm.
We had him sit down. He went to go leave. He drove away with him standing out there. I guess he drove past him.
Okay.
And then when I came back in, the teller called me up and asked me to come look at the check that she just had. And then
In the same branch, they had already seen this same fraudulent check before in the same branch. So not only is this not anything new This isn't even anything new today at this particular branch. This is, yeah, they're obviously doing this all over town, everywhere they can, and they're running this scheme. And unfortunately, it seems like she got caught up in it. And I don't know, maybe she didn't know all the details of how these things normally work. But normally, the way this works is they're sending you into the bank because they don't want to go in themselves. And if you get caught up, and it's just you, they're not going to come back for you.
And she's saying that the person that dropped her off here left her.
It's the same person.
And what car was he driving? The Buick?
It was I think it was a Buick. That's what the
color?
looked like. It was like a burnt
Stolen,
orange.
kind of a stolen color.
Burnt orange car?
Was it like a SUV, sedan, or was it like
SUV.
a hatchback?
Definitely an SUV.
Okay. Do you know, did it look newer or old?
No.
It looks stolen.
Yeah, SUV.
Newer, older.
Newer, older.
Probably newer because the screen was all like touch screen
Yeah,
inside.
yeah.
Okay.
New touchscreen. Definitely
Then it
stolen.
was a sedan or an SUV.
Honest and truthful and giving you the information from the source is not going to help me at all. Like I'm still gonna
In court, it might help you.
but I can't harass you.
Won't help you.
She's
now.
she's already trying to make a deal for herself. So this is why I don't want to white knight for her too much, because I do feel for her. She's got kids and all of that, but at the same time, she did this. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew the risks involved. She did it anyway. And now that she's been caught, she's throwing on the nice act and, being all sweet and being very, very helpful, very honest, which is good. The cop's not wrong. That will help her in court, when she goes to court, and she will go to court for this. But at this point, it's pretty obvious that she knew what she was doing. She is not only complicit, but she is an intricate part of this plan to some degree, at least. I don't think she knows that this is pretty much how this works. I've seen this before. I've seen this kind of scam before. I know how this works. They get a bunch of people to do it, and it is a setup from the beginning. They know that you're not coming out of that bank most likely with the money. That's why they're not going in there.
And she's confident it's an SUV.
Call
No
him?
matter what, my boyfriend.
No, not your boyfriend.
So no matter what, I'm gonna listen to
Call Tyrone.
Most likely. Call him.
The Marquise. Call Marquise.
Is she telling us who the person is that one?
It's a guy that she met a couple months ago and was giving her a ride.
Oh, he's taking her for a ride, all right.
Hello?
Hello.
Are you good? You're not detained. The police aren't there. Everything is good.
Oh, she's detained. She's a little more than detained. She is borderline arrested at this point, Marquise.
I can tell you right now, frauds are not my strong suit, so I am doing my best.
So because you guys have me come in here and do this fraudulent shit, now I'm going to jail.
So you can't leave.
I cannot leave.
No, you're not free to leave. Nah.
So who are you in the office with right now?
The officer.
The officer.
So if something you didn't have knowledge of happening, you didn't do.
Because I came in here in a disguise that y'all put me in with a check with my name.
She even says right there that they put her in a disguise. That's pretty much admitting to everything right there. And him not saying, I didn't do that, I don't know what you're talking about, means that he agrees that that's what happened.
I told them the story that y'all told me to tell them. And now I'm being arrested.
Oh, see, and I just, I want to feel bad for her, I do, but I can tell right now that is exactly what she wants. She wants people to feel bad for her. She's trying to manipulate her way out of this situation. She's trying to look like she was so innocent and she didn't know and she was just doing what they told her to do. And it's no, you knew. There's no way you didn't know. You would have to be so incredibly naive to not know that what you were doing was a crime. There's no way.
I can't just come there myself.
It doesn't matter. Yes, I need
you to come.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but at the same time, it's like, because she's going down for it. She did it. She's the one in the bank with the check. It's in her name. So she's going down. But Marquise, I'm sure they would love to talk to Marquise, but he's not coming back. There's no way. There's no way he comes back.
I don't know how I'm supposed to do it. I'm not even over there.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not over there because they're already probably on their way to the next TD Bank or whatever it is. They're not coming back. This is all part of the shtick. Like, this is their plan. Like, if you get caught up, they're not coming back for you. Not only that, but they know that there is a more than good chance that you're not going to make it out of that bank with the money. And even if you did make it out of the bank with that money, I guarantee you they're not going to give you your end. There's no way. There's no way. Why would they? What reason would they have to give you your end? Like, what are you going to do? You're going to call the cops and tell them that they stole your stolen money? No. You've already committed fraud. You'd have to admit to committing fraud in order to do anything about it. And it's not like you wouldn't get the money either way. And now it's just like, now you're not getting anything. You're just going to go down for fraud. And there's no way those guys are coming back.
What am I supposed to do?
Tell him you're going to jail if he don't show up because of his fraudulent check.
I'm going either way.
Yeah, both
Yeah.
y'all can go. You want to go for all of it?
No.
Okay then.
If you don't come here, I'm going to jail for you.
I'm coming back, bro.
No.
Ask him how far out he is.
No, stop the cap. He ain't
How
coming
far
back.
are you?
No way.
I'm literally nowhere near that city right now. I got the out of there.
Yeah, he got the fuck out of there. Like he said, like, he's nowhere even near that city. They are going from city to city, branch to branch, with multiple people and multiple checks. And they, like the bank lady already said, like, they've already left people there. Like, they know they're not coming back.
All right, well, how far?
Feeling everything you were saying wasn't really that's what I was trying to figure out if you were detained or not. Because that would have let me know where to stay or go. If you told me you were detained, I would have stayed and we would have just switched places. But you didn't tell me you were detained or arrested, so...
What is Marquise talking about? Switched places. So if we're in the same place, right, and you kill somebody, and then I just walk up and I'm like, nah, I'm just going to take his place. Like, he didn't do that, I did that. That's not how that works. That's not how a criminal investigation works. Like, they're not interested in trading her for you. I'm sure if you come down there, they will let you know that they'd be happy to take you too, but they are not going to let her go, not going to let you go in her place. That's not how this works.
I didn't do anything about that because you told me you weren't detained or arrested. If you told me you were detained or arrested, it would have made more sense. I have no knowledge of what's going on right now.
I have no knowledge of what's going on right now. That is good one, Marquise. That is a good one. I have no knowledge of what is going on right now. I didn't mean to leave you there, but I'd left you there. But, I didn't mean to because I didn't know you were detained.
This is all...
Tell him you're going to jail. So you got to come back.
Well, I'm going to jail for your check, so can you please come back? How far are you? How far
He's
are
shaking
you?
his head. He knows they're not coming back.
I don't have GPS right now. I just got out of there.
So how, an estimate or something?
Girl, you don't really believe he's coming back, do you?
I'm trying to tell somebody to pick up her children.
You got the Miranda doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Grandma.
She's pretending to cry and she's still like looking at them, like she's looking for their reactions to her pretending to cry. So, I mean, this chick is totally manipulating them. I do think that like these other people probably put her up to this and got her into this mess, but she's not making it much better for herself. And even though she's trying to manipulate her way out of it, I don't think it's working.
I'm being arrested right now. I need you to pick the boys up for me today.
I mean, it couldn't really work anyway, right? Like there is some things you can talk your way out of, some very minor things, usually like traffic type stuff, but there is no way you're ever going to talk your way out of a felony, especially not what would be considered kind of a white collar crime like fraud or something like that. Like there's no way you're talking your way out of this. This is such, especially when the bank is telling you that there's a ring of this going on, that there are multiple people involved. Like these cops, they're going to be nice to her, but there's no way they're letting her out of this.
I'm being arrested. I need you to pick the boys up for me. Because I'm stupid. Because I'm trying to get the money to pay my rent, and I went to the
Bro, like, come on, this cry is so fake. Like, I'm trying to get the money to pay my... Come on, like, seriously? Like, whatever. Let's go with it.
bank with a check that wasn't good, and
Today, Junior!
I didn't steal anybody's money. I was given a check by this guy that I know, and it's not a real check.
Didn't steal anybody's money. I was given a check by this guy I didn't know, and it's not a real check. Okay, being given a check by somebody that you don't know is not a crime. Okay? Taking it into a bank and trying to cash it against an account when it is not a legitimate check, it is not meant for you, but it has your name on it, that is a crime. You will go to jail. Like they're not messing around. Come on. Like I said, there's 200, 300 years of history of this happening. Like, do you really think that you're going to be the first person in all that time to talk their way out of a fraudulent check charge? No way.
So I'm being arrested for fraud. I'm all the way in Deland, and I need you to get the boys today from school for me. Bye.
Alright. Can you look at me for a second? I'm gonna read you your rights, alright?
It's not funny. It's not funny.
Alright.
It's pretty funny.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer or have him or her present with you while you are being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. If you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights that have been read to you, and are you still willing to talk to us? Yes? I need a confirmation.
Yes.
No.
Alright. So walk me from the beginning.
So normally it is at this point that you would not want to continue talking with them. You would want to just go ahead and get the cuffs on, get in the car, go to jail, and then phone your lawyer. I mean, straight up, like you do not want to continue this conversation. Now, she's hoping to curry some good favor here with these cops. She's trying to make a little bet for herself in this situation. So she's going to cooperate without her attorney present. This is not a good idea. Like, you should still just go to jail, call your lawyer, and then start talking about making deals and cooperating with the prosecution against these other guys, assuming that these other guys can be caught, which I don't even know. She doesn't know anything about these guys. I guarantee she doesn't know anything about them. She only knows one guy's name. She's known him for a couple of months, so who knows if that's even true. I don't think she's got anything here. She's got nothing to give them. and she's just going to end up burying herself.
From when they picked you up all the way until now, to how we get here.
They picked me up, and
But when they picked you up, okay. So was this planned before they picked you up, or they just said, "Hey, I'm outside"?
I mean, I knew they were coming to get me, but
You didn't know what for.
I knew that it had something to do with going to the bank. But they
What
just,
bank?
I don't know.
So you knew they were picking you up, and you knew you guys were going to the bank.
I didn't know that I was gonna be calling in trying to cash a check.
Okay. But you knew they were picking you up, and you knew you guys were coming to the bank. What else did they tell you before you got in the car?
That's pretty much it.
That they were picking you up so you can go to the bank and help out with your rent?
Yeah.
All right. And when did they make you put the uniform on?
I live in Apaka. We were almost to the I-4, to get off I-4 in Altamont. When they started talking about scrubs, going to the store and getting my scrubs, asking me what size I was, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I didn't know anything about that, and they were like, that it just looks more official. And I'm like, what? Like,
So if this was a legitimate trip to the bank, why does it need to look official? Why do you need to put on a disguise if this is just a normal trip to the bank?
what are you talking about? I was kind of just going with whatever they were telling me that they were doing.
Okay.
Because I'm desperate. I need to keep a roof over my kid's head.
All right.
But yeah, we got.
So a really big part of how this scam works is you get other people to actually go into the bank with the fake checks. Like the person behind all of this has multiple people going to multiple banks with multiple checks, and they are counting on the fact that not everybody is going to make it out of there. And if somebody does, I guarantee you this person behind it is not planning on giving them any of that money. Like there's no situation, there's no reality where you do something like this and you come out ahead.
Got the scrubs. He paid for them.
Calling Town Patrol.
Yeah, it's 15. Are you going to be here for a minute?
I'm about to walk in now.
All right, copy. Only reason I'm asking is we got a hold of the guy driving the burnt orange vehicle. He wouldn't explain exactly where he was at, but he said he was going to come back. So just in case if he does, I was just trying to see if someone could be in the parking lot and spot him.
Okay. So Marquise was the passenger, and Marquise's friend was driving. All right, and then what else happened when they get? Okay, so they said we're gonna buy the shrubs. It looks more official. We'll put them on.
Yeah.
And you put them on.
I mean, I didn't put them on right away, but yeah, when we got to the bank.
When you got here to the bank.
Well, he pulled up like across the street and like a plaza right there with
He
like
pulled-
Little Caesars by the Fairway.
He pulled
by
to-
the Fairway.
Pulled up by the Fairwinds, the Land Plaza. Okay.
And then wrote the check and basically told me, put those on. This is what you're doing. And
I couldn't really tell looking at it, but those checks don't look very legit anyway. Like, those are pretty sus just from what I can kind of see of it on the table there. It doesn't look very good. Like, and I don't know. A lot of how this scam works is a lot of times what they'll do is the main guy will go and he'll get several people together. They'll all go in his car or whatever vehicle, you know, he happened to strategically or acquire for the job. He'll go and he'll take these people and they'll go to a bank and he'll walk in with one of these stolen or fraudulent checks and come back out with the money, basically convincing everybody in the car how easy it is and how well this works and it's not scary, it's not a big deal. And what ends up happening though is when they go in, it's not so simple.
that's not at all what I left my, like.
Okay, so he pulled in to the Land Plaza, and that's when.
No, yeah, the main guy fakes it. Like, he obviously fakes it. Like, he goes into the bank with the fraudulent check and comes out with money, but he doesn't actually go in there and cash a fraudulent check. He just goes in there and comes back out and shows them the money. He probably already had the money the whole time. He just is doing that to convince them that it's easy. And when they see that, they think, oh yeah, this is going to be easy. This is no problem. But it is a problem. Big problem. It doesn't work. 90% of the time it doesn't work. He's banking on the 10% of the time that it does. That's why he's probably got 10 people doing this.
He told you to change it to the uniform because it looks more official, and he handwritten.
And then he handed me this.
Okay, and he handwritten the check.
The one driving.
The one driving handwritten. Okay.
Okay, 20.
Hey, did you guys do a ruse with them that were here for something else?
No, he's aware that she is detained and possibly going 10-15, so she convinced him to come back to talk to us.
How long am I?
He's not coming back. They might have another car out there with more people in it that are trying to pull the exact same scam, because these fraudulent checks and savings bonds or whatever are obviously coming in bunches.
Am I gonna have to stay there? Will I be able to get bonded out today? Or do I gotta wait for court to be bonded out?
You can get bonded out today, but I don't think he's a true friend, because if he told you to come out and do this, and he said he's going to take the rap for it, I would have been back ASAP, especially with you having 2 kids.
Yeah, I won't.
He's not coming back. There's no way Marquise is this stand-up guy who just accidentally got her into this predicament and he's coming back to White Knight for her. There's no way. Marquise is not coming back for you, if that's even his real name.
All right. So,
I'm so sorry. I'm just joining this. I'm halfway. Yeah.
Okay, so this cop who just came in, you can see he's got the 3 chevrons on his arm there. That means he's a sergeant. So he's probably in charge of this entire shift of police. So he's kind of like, he's not just like this, he's like the supervisor of the whole shift. So he's just coming in now. I'm guessing they don't have their own fraud squad, and that's why he's coming in to make sure that they, get everything that they need, all the evidence that they need, and that they're, are working with the bank, because the bank has federal guidelines that they have to adhere to when they're dealing with fraudulent checks.
I'm joining in this halfway through, okay? So, from what I understand, this check is fake. You knew this check was fake.
I didn't know anything.
You didn't know anything.
No. I just knew that this was someone trying to help me get my rent paid so I'm not evicted with my children. And I'm at the point where I'll do almost anything to make sure that my kids don't feel that everything that I'm going through to keep the stuff going.
So when he told you to get dressed,
So that's really why I feel bad. I don't feel bad for her at all. Like, she made her bed, she should sleep in it. But at the end of the day, it is not her kids' fault. It is not their fault that their mom got into, that she has these money problems, that she's not able to afford the rent, that they're losing their home. It's not their fault. And so I do feel bad for them. And she may garner a little bit of courtesy from these officers because of that. And I don't necessarily fault them for that either. Like, at the end of the day, there's only so much they can do to be nice to her anyway. They're not going to let her off. There's no world in which that happens. But I do feel bad for her kids, and I can understand, like, the police being nice to her, or at least showing her whatever courtesy they can, because she's got those kids, and it isn't their fault.
in the shrubs, and he wrote the check for you.
I mean, at that point, I obviously figured.
What did he say to you when he wrote the check and gave it to you?
He just said to go in and tell them this. This is what he wrote. This is what it is.
What did he tell you to tell them?
That I'm a living assistant, that I take care of someone's mom or something, and that...
Which is not true, obviously.
No.
No, you should be alright for right now.
Did she just try to garner sympathy from the officers based on the fake backstory she gave? I'm not sure. I don't know. I'll have to watch it again later.
Not even entirely sure he's coming back. He didn't sound too convincing.
Alright, so he told you to come in here and act like you was taking care of somebody, taking care of a little. Okay. And at that point, did you know the check was fake when he gave it to you before you walked into his bank?
I figured.
So he wrote it for $3,390. And then obviously, did he have the scrubs or did you?
He got me. I was in my clothes. He picked me up, and I'm just riding with them, thinking, I don't know, I'm just going with the flow. And then he said, "You gotta stop and get your scrubs." And I was like, "What do we need to stop and get these scrubs for?"
Right.
And that was when he didn't even fully explain it. He had like 2 phones on the phone with different people. Like, I was just sitting in the back, just writing, like, whatever y'all tell me I need to do so I could pay my rent. I know Marquise for a couple months, but the guy driving is Marquise's friend. I don't know him.
And
It's my first time seeing him today.
And they're
And
at
I
a
don't
burnt
even
orange.
So my guess is Marquise's friend, who she just met today, and this is what the plan was for today, and they just went and picked her up today. I'm guessing this is all Marquise's friend's plan. So yeah, Marquise, even if Marquise came back, he ain't doing nothing. Like, you're not getting out of this. He's not getting out of this. And it sounds like the ground is shrinking beneath this team of people that's pulling off these capers.
I got you. A burnt orange SUV.
Yeah,
What about this white Mercedes?
I don't know anything about Mercedes.
Okay, but he did say to you on the phone.
Okay, so the white Mercedes is probably another group of people doing the exact same thing.
That was the crackhead.
Well, because I was only
Yeah, so the crackhead is the other person who is going around bank to bank trying to cash these checks. The crackhead in a Mercedes. God, this is a weird world we live in.
Can I answer my grandma?
No, this is important. You're looking at felony charges right now. I'll be honest with you, okay? It's called uttering a forged document, okay? So this is probably more important than what Grandma's got to say.
I mean, I was just asking to pick up my kids from school, so that's probably why she's...
Okay, tell her to pick up your kid.
Okay, uttering a forged document, from what I understand, is a felony, but it's not quite as bad as like check fraud, wire fraud, or something along those lines. Uttering a forged document just means that basically you tried to float a check that you knew was not correct. It wasn't supposed to be for you, or it wasn't from the person that the account is in the name of, something along those lines.
Kids tell you
She
probably
said
going to
she
jail.
would. I told her I was getting arrested, so I mean, if
Okay, then answer. Only because it has to do with your kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Hello?
I got kids, so.
Okay, so right there, the sergeant's like, I'm gonna let you talk to Grandma because it's about your kids, and he's a big old softy with kids of his own, which we understand. We understand that, like I said, like, they're gonna be nice to her, as nice as they can be, but at the end of the day, there's no amount of sympathy that's ever gonna get you out of this situation.
Can I see that?
So that's what I was.
The check?
I'm working on getting you a copy of
The check was
the third check.
almost
So there's this check, and then
$3,400.
there's another check that was cashed.
What TD Bank did he cash?
Okay, so the check is for $3,400. She said she only needed like $2,000 for her rent. So obviously, like, they told her, like, we'll give you what you need, but we get to keep the rest or whatever. But realistically, she was never going to get any of that money. If she'd have walked out of there with that money, they never would have given it to her. They would have taken it from her, and they still probably would have left her somewhere.
Cash this one.
Grandma, I'm talking to the cops right now.
So he cashed
Oh, right.
a couple, cashed like 2 before this.
At this bank?
No, he cashed 2 at other TD Banks.
In Deland or somewhere else?
Other one was like on their way
I
here.
believe the other two were in Orlando.
Okay.
And that one has his name on it. This one has her name on it. Because they were
Understood.
sending her in here to act like.
Are they the same check numbers and all that?
This is University Boulevard.
133.
Obviously, you know that Orlando PD, that has to go through them because that's their jurisdiction and all that, so.
Well, I'm just more or less giving this to you as far as
For evidence,
information,
yeah.
just to let you know that there was 3 checks that were.
Absolutely, yeah, but for like reporting purposes, and we can give you a case number, and we can even fax this over there as far as like a case linkage, because obviously it's the same people, so it's going to be a case linkage. It might even be a statewide prosecutor because it's through multi-jurisdiction.
Yeah, this is probably going to end up a state case just because they're dealing with so many different towns and banks and stuff, which, honestly, that's going to hurt these guys running this operation in the end anyway, because you've got all these jurisdictions involved now. Now a state prosecutor, a state attorney is going to be coming after you instead of just a local attorney. Not saying that like local attorneys aren't as good. It's just that, you're going to have a much, much harder time beating this case if it's coming down from the state prosecutor as opposed to like your local DA or whatever.
Multiple,
Yeah.
multiple.
And if the two are connected,
No, that has nothing to do with it.
This is from the white Mercedes.
Yeah.
Let me just be perfectly clear with you right now. There is no way that I believe that these two incidences are not linked.
They're not. I mean, I promise on everything
Is
I
that
know.
Yeah, no, they definitely are. Like this is this is one person who's got a fucking decent printer at his house, and he's trying his hand at forgery, and he's getting all sorts of people who are desperate, who need the money, like her, to go into these banks and try and pass off these documents, and it's not working. It's clearly not working, and the evidence against them is piling up. Like I said, the ground is shrinking beneath their feet. Like as they continue to go into bank after bank, they're just going to run out of places to go, and eventually they're all going to get caught.
He was on the phone talking to people, right?
Not to. So.
He had multiple phones. He's talking to people. Two people don't walk into a bank at the same time. I mean, that was just.
No, it has.
That would just have to be like
ironic.
lightning striking
Both
twice.
with a fake
I
check.
get
They
it.
walk in and
I
they just
get it.
leave you sitting here.
I get that, but whoever that was, I never.
Yeah, so again, they're doubling up their chances of success, but they're also doubling their exposure. So they're sending two people into the same bank with the same fake check, hoping that, obviously they're going to go to different tellers, and hopefully they'll both go, and maybe one of them makes it out. Maybe one of them actually gets them to cash the check. But chances are neither one of them's going to make it out of there. And in this case, they've both been left here by different people.
You
didn't have to see him,
I know,
but-
but he wasn't.
it might not be something you're knowledgeable
Yeah,
of.
Right,
you're
you
not.
may not know. These guys may know, but you probably don't.
Because they just left you sitting.
I mean,
like,
right away, as soon as you say
Yeah, she doesn't know about the other crew for sure. She didn't even know that like this is textbook what happens. Like you get people who are desperate to do things that they wouldn't normally do, that are extremely risky, and if there's a payoff, you rob them, and if there is no payoff, you leave them there to face the consequences alone.
said that they're dealing with somebody else, and he said to you, "Oh, they're dealing with that crackhead." He said that,
I don't know.
so he knew. How would he supposed to know what we're
And
dealing
they
with?
both
It's because-
both left at the same time. One cop showed up, everybody leaves,
It's
you're still
because-
sitting in here.
Yep.
They
Cop
went to
showed
a
up
TD
and they
with me
left
in the
her
car
there.
right before we came to this one, and he was walking out of that TD too. And then I told them when I got here that I seen the same guy that walked out of that one here.
And you think that these two things are completely
She's not dumb, you can tell, because before, when she didn't have to think as much about what she was saying, she was in tears, she was crying, she was hysterical. Now that she has to think carefully about what she's going to say so as to not incriminate herself further, she's not crying anymore. She's not upset anymore. She doesn't look sad at all. Like, she looks like she is on the defensive. Like, she is trying to make sure that she doesn't dig a bigger hole for herself while still trying to cast blame on the other people. But she can't say how many other people or how much she knows, because then it looks like she's not as ignorant as she's pretending to be.
by accident.
I don't know.
What you don't?
I'm just asking you to think logically. I'm not saying that you know, right? I'm not saying that you have some master plan in this. I'm just asking you to speak logically. Think logically, right?
I don't know
Two different people.
This might be the core.
Okay, two different people committing similar frauds over multiple jurisdictions, just so happen to be leaving at the same time, and you think that's an accident.
I get how it looks, but like I said, I have no knowledge of
I got you.
anything.
I
The
know how
only thing
you
I'm
know.
asking you for is
You see, she knows how it looks because she knows what it is. She knows it looks a certain way because she knows that that's what it is.
if you have any names of these people, which I know you
All I
already
know
gave
is
Maurice or
Marquise.
whatever, Marquise.
Marquise.
And he's supposedly
One
coming back
bacon.
here.
So he said
I got you.
I want her to
He's
walk
not
across the street to the
driving.
Family Dollar
he's
for
not driving
Uber.
the car. I don't know who the guy is driving the car. Marquise was a
You knew he was
passenger.
going to say that. That's
Huh?
exactly what he said.
What?
You knew he was going to say walk over to the Family Dollar, and that's what happened.
They've been texting, so. Did he
was
say he's coming back when I walked out? Did he
He said
say?
he was gonna come back, but he was trying to figure
Yeah, he said he's going to come back, but he's not coming back. These cops know better.
out a way back.
He ain't coming back.
Because he said he had to
I
switch
guess he
cars.
was trying. All I can imagine is that he's not trying to have whoever's driving the burnt orange SUV, the one that's his friend, come back. He's trying to get out of that car and find a way here so that whoever that is, like I said, I don't know his name.
I got you.
What?
Let me ask you this: would you be willing to write a sworn written statement about what happened? About this guy that you met 2 months ago, that he picked you up today, that he took you to the scrub shop, that he took you to these banks, that he told you to put the scrubs on, told you, everything that you're telling us. Would you be willing to put it in writing on paper?
I'm not still in trouble.
Well, yes. I don't have the ability to make felonies go away. Okay.
So she's still trying to work a deal for herself. This is not the time to do it. Sitting in the bank manager's office right now, after you're not even like fully, like you've been Mirandized, but you're not fully under arrest yet. Now is not the time to start making a deal for your cooperation, because they're just going to get your statement out of you, and then they're just going to proceed with what they're already planning on doing.
But what I can tell you is that
This will help you in court.
cooperating suspects.
That's what I've been trying to do the whole time.
No, and I appreciate that. So that's all I'm asking. If you'll put it in writing, that's all I'm asking. I'm not making you any promises that it'll lessen. You're not lessening any trouble you're in today. Okay, it's just for the future, right? For when this goes to trial.
That's nice. At least he's being really honest with her too. Like he's telling her the truth. Like it's not going to change anything today. But when you do go to court for this, and you will go to court for this, it will help you there. And that is ultimately, I mean, that's the only thing that matters, because again, she's not getting out of this today. She's going to jail today. She did this thing. It's going to mess her up for a while, but being cooperative will probably help her when she does go to court.
Trial.
Yes.
Do you look like a
Thank you.
accomplice to a master scheme, or do you look like a girl who's trying to pay her bills so her kids don't be homeless? You know what I'm saying? That's what.
I mean, to me, she does look like an accomplice to a grand scheme, to a massive scheme. I mean, this is a little bit further. She's a little bit further down the path than I think her story leads you to believe.
What do you want to look like? What picture do you want painted of you for the jury?
The truth.
The truth, right? So will you write the truth for us and swear to it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me go get a statement for him.
So I mean, obviously, like, how much longer is this video?
They call my keys
Like
again?
6 more minutes. Okay.
Huh?
Call my keys again?
See
Yeah,
if you
like-
come back. But other than
Everybody else here, like, I'm waiting, with bated breath or whatever, but I already know Marquise is not coming back. If he does, the next 6 minutes should be really epic, but I seriously doubt he's coming back.
that, we ain't gonna be waiting here all day.
This is an organized fraud scheme out of Orlando. I'll be honest, it'll probably go to like a statewide prosecutor. I say we take her phone.
Yeah,
CID will probably want to do a search warrant on it, in all reality.
I'm good with it.
Yeah, so that's another thing that a lot of people don't think about in these situations is you're walking in there to commit a felony, and you have your phone on you. Well, if you get arrested with that phone in your pocket, they're going to get a warrant for your phone. They're going to check your text messages, and they're going to know exactly what Marquise did or did not tell you about this little plan.
I'm sorry, but the
It doesn't answer. It's not like.
My advice to you, once you get through all that,
Yeah, I guess Marquise isn't answering anymore. My guess is he's not coming back.
you don't need to talk to them.
Yeah, I don't plan on it.
You need to put this in your past and not ever do this again.
How old are you, guys?
24.
Way too old to be doing
I'm
this
not
shit.
gonna say I know how you feel because I don't have kids right now, but I do have one on the way, and I'm not in your
Oh,
shoes,
congratulations to this officer. He's got one on the way.
I'm being by myself. I don't get any help. And I've just been stuck for the last 2 months. I just paid.
Now we're back to crying again. You notice that whole time where she was trying to feel them out and not say too much. She didn't have one tear. And now we're back to the whimpering, stuttering, crying thing.
May's rent. I was just about to be evicted in May. I just paid May's rent June 7th. And I already got another eviction notice for June.
So they got you on a month-to-month?
I
That's what it seemed like.
I mean, I have my lease or whatever, but they give you 30 days from the day that it's late. And then after the 30 days,
Yeah,
you have to pay it. Then they'll put in the note. Then they'll put in for the court to evict
And
you.
then once you pay it, it'll go away, and then you were
Yeah.
late again for the month of June, so they
So
took
they give
back.
another 30-day notice. So I
Okay.
have until July 7th.
How
but
much is your rent?
right now with the late fee, it's almost $2,000.
Okay, how much is it before the
$1,750.
$1,750?
A 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, but like everything's included. So
Do
other
you
than my
get?
rights.
Yeah. Do you don't get help from the children's father? Or are both of your kids from the same
They're both
father?
from the same guy. I don't get help from him
All
at
right.
all. Honestly, I'm just like each time we have
Oh, I got you.
we were never in.
On and off. I got you.
Alrighty. So what I want you to do is fill out all this information up here, and then here you're going to start your statement with everything that you've told us. Okay. And then this is a secondary page for you to write on whenever you get to the end of here, and then mention where y'all went, where the vehicle that you were in, the fact that you saw that white Mercedes at the other.
I didn't see the white Mercedes. I just saw the guy. I didn't know what car.
Okay, so
now
you saw the
someone
guy.
came in.
But you saw the guy. Okay, yeah, mention that in there. All of everything that we've discussed today. Okay, it might be a lot. If you need another one after that, just let us know. We can get you another one.
Local is not local. Just put my address.
What? Yeah, your local address.
Connect them or do the two
Yes.
separate?
One case number. This is all one incident.
What's my address?
Evidence. Those are the original documents that they tried to pass. So evidence. Yep.
Can I get a copy before you take them?
Yep.
And may I get the two of you to put your information down here? Thank you.
So the bank lady is gonna have to collect copies of everything, obviously. Like I said, there is not just the local police have to deal with this, but there is actually like federal investigations that will follow up with this. So she's got to get copies of everything. She's got to get the police officers' names, and probably the report number as well, just for all the paperwork that they're gonna have to do on their end. Like every time somebody does something like this, it affects multiple people. And like, yeah, okay, you can say like the banks are insured or whatever, but you still have all of these people that have to go through all of this process. Like that does cost money. Like at the end of the day, this is not a victimless crime.
I apologize for that, but we have to do our own reports and everything. And
We don't
I
have
have to get.
the name for the other guy. do we?
That's fine. Unknown.
I know. Okay. Oh, his
Here we
name
go.
is on. That's his
He's
real
got an
name.
account here and everything.
Oh, he has an account.
Oh.
Can I get all his information in?
Oh, yeah.
I know. I thought he put his fake name. I thought he put like somebody else's name on it.
And that's what Fernandez was telling me outside. He was like, "Nope, put 100% his real name." Fernandez looked, verified that it's actually him because it's the guy that obviously he saw. So he verified it's him, and it's the same name that's on the bonds.
Go ahead. I'm gonna put.
We can get you more water at the police department.
All right.
So
I'm
you
gonna put
need that.
I'm gonna put him in front because we're gonna be sitting in the car for a while.
Yeah, we'll get you more water at the police department. Don't worry, we got water, we got rubber sandals, we got all sorts of stuff.
All right.
Okay.
And you're being cool with this, so.
Check it out. This cop's got the pink handcuffs. So if you don't know, a lot of times women are able to slip their cuffs, and it's mainly because the usual handcuffs that most people buy and carry aren't small enough or don't go small enough to stay on their tiny little frail wrists, and they're able to slip their little bony fingers out of the cuffs. So if you ever see a cop carrying pink handcuffs, it's probably because they're smaller so that they don't get slipped off by sneaky women's with their tiny little hands.
Yeah, you have. I don't do this to most people.
I'm just trying to be us. I'm not lying about anything. I'm just trying to be us.
And we understand that. We appreciate it. You just got caught up.
So right here you can see the cop is cuffing her in the front. This is the extent of the courtesy. Like this is as far as it's going to get for them, is they are going to handcuff her in the front and be polite and, you know, not be total assholes about this. But this is going to be the extent of the courtesy. Once she gets out of here and gets down to the jail, it's over from there. Nobody's going to be nice to her because she was honest from this point on.
In an unfortunate situation, okay?
That they left you in.
I know.
Sorry, just here. Turn your wrists to face. Kind of. There you go.
Boom.
Alrighty. We're gonna walk you out and try to get you in there quickly, so that way it's not embarrassing. Okay? You don't have anything in your pockets, right?
No.
Okay. We're gonna have someone check whenever we get back to the police station, but we're just gonna get you in the car real quick. Okay? Hello.
Thank you.
You good, all right?
Yeah, so that, I mean, this is pretty much the end of it. Yeah, again, like, let's put the educational spin on this. If somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, I've got this brilliant plan for committing check fraud," you just tell them no thank you. Because there is no winning in this game. Like, nobody's getting away with any of this. Like I said, even the guy who's in charge of this whole operation, who's got these other people going into the banks, eventually it's all going to catch up with him and he's going to go down too. So I mean, yeah, like, don't do this kind of stuff. It's stupid, and no idiot criminal friend of yours is smart enough to outthink a couple hundred years of criminal investigations. There's just no way. Big thanks again to Bodycam Watch for this video. It's sad, but again, I can kind of see where, like, she's definitely playing more innocent than she actually is. Clearly she's not innocent, because she did try to commit check fraud. So I think what they ended up giving her was utterance. We'll see what the final charge was.
Where's your brother, police officer at? Inglewood, California? How he like it?
His wife too.
How he like it?
He loves it. He'll be so disappointed in me right now. Oh.
So yeah, she was charged with fraud, uttering a false document. So, you know, basically, yeah, don't commit fraud. It's that simple. All right, thanks for joining me. Again, check out Bodycam Watch. Give them a like, give them a subscribe. Thanks. Bye.